Hey friends, my name is Kimi Sugiyama and welcome to Tokyo! This is the first installment of a mini-series that I'm doing where I give you an inside look at different apartments in Japan. So come on in and have a look around. Just to give you guys a little context before we get started, this Airbnb is located in an area of Tokyo called Ikebukuro, which is a large commuter hub in like the northwestern corridor of the city. Ikebukuro Station is actually the second busiest train station in the city, right behind Shinjuku Station. And for those of you who have been to Tokyo and maybe walked through Shinjuku Station before, you know that it is always crowded and it is a maze and it can be difficult to find your way around. The closest station to this Airbnb is Otsuka Station on the Yamanote line, and from here it takes about 10 minutes to Shin-Okubo, which is where Tokyo's Koreatown is located, and about 12 minutes to Shinjuku and about 20 minutes to Shibuya Station, all by train. So I never got to explore much of the Ikebukuro area while I was living in Tokyo, so that's why I chose this Airbnb. So yeah, let's get going and I'll show you around. This apartment is actually really tiny, as most apartments in Tokyo are, as the city is very limited on space and it's very compact, and so people live in really close quarters. But every apartment has this area, like when you enter the front door, it's called a genkan, and that's where you take off your shoes because you're not supposed to wear shoes inside the house. It's mainly to prevent germs from spreading throughout the household. So over here to the side they have a little shoe rack where you can put your shoes so they're not in the way, and you trade them in for a little pair of slippers. So as you can see, I left my shoes here, and typically when you enter the door you're supposed to turn your shoes around to face the door, so that way when you're leaving they're easier to slip on and off. And then as you can see, I've traded my shoes for a little bit of slippers for walking around the house. This apartment has a little vacuum, and in Japan they have very strict garbage rules. Like on certain days you're supposed to throw out certain things and you're supposed to separate your trash. So this one has one for steel cans, this one is for aluminum, and then the bottom one is for like plastic bottles. You're supposed to throw them all away in separate bags and throw them out on their designated days. And then you come in, and as you can see, the kitchen is very small. There's not a lot of room to cook, and this isn't very typical, I don't think, in a lot of apartments, but this one is a water heater. So in order to get the hot water, you have to like turn some knobs and do some jiggly diggly thingies. As you can see, there is a small fridge and a microwave, and I brought my own dandelion tea from home because it's my favorite tea and they don't sell it here. So, and then you come in and you have this dining room table, which I am currently using as a workstation, but as you can see, again, nice windows, lots of light, and they open so you can get a nice breeze. They've got some plants, a little lamp, and then if you turn around you can kind of see this is what it looks like. There's the kitchen, and then off to the left here is the front door. And then from facing this direction you turn left and there is a very tiny bathroom area. There's some sink, there's some toilet paper down there, some hangers, a little shelf to put all of your toiletries, and a small mirror. Actually, if I stand here you can't even see the top of my head. Well, you can see the top of my head in the camera, but I can't see the top of my head when I'm standing here. I'm too tall, too tall. And then the door ahead opens up to the toilet. In Japan, it's common for the toilet and the bath, or the shower, to be separate. And I've actually never seen a toilet like this that's that low to the ground. It is a Western toilet, but it's just a very funky layout. So let me show you a couple of things that I discovered were a bit funky about this shower. They have this shower head here, which is what you're supposed to use, but there's nowhere in the bathroom, like there's no hook to hang this. So basically it's just a rinser. And again, this bathroom has its own water heater, and If you can't read Japanese, although when you stay in an Airbnb, usually the hosts are really good about giving you a guide on how to work everything in the apartment, and that's what my host did for me, but it doesn't matter because I can read Japanese. But basically, if you can't read Japanese, it can be a little daunting to know how to work things, and it's just best to ask somebody if you don't know. And so basically, there is this really small tub that I realized is actually not attached to the floor in any way. And I found that out because yesterday when I was showering, I closed this door and ta-da! There's no door handle to open this door. So if you close it all the way, you're basically stuck. So what I had to do is stand on the ledges of this bathtub, and I had to reach through the window to where the toilet is, open that door that I just showed you, and then open the doorknob from the outside. It was quite an event, and after a long flight, you can imagine how ready I was to just be done. And usually what you do when you take a shower, you can stand either in the bathtub, or you can stand right here where I'm standing on this like this stone tiled floor. As you can see, there's a drain right there. I just wanted to show you how tall I feel in this apartment. Like, so I'm standing up straight right now, and this is the ledge. Like, if I stand on my tippy toes, like my head touches the top. How crazy is that? I'm like a giant in this country. So when you walk in from the main area in the kitchen, you enter the bedroom slash living room. And there's a little couch here off to the left, which is really nice and comfortable. And then a little balcony, the bed, and there's a little closet where they have a bunch of pillows and futons and things for their guests. So there is a window there that opens, but there's only a railing there, and there's nothing really outside. But then this one actually goes out to a balcony. When I got into Tokyo yesterday, I actually opened this window because I thought it was the balcony, and I didn't realize that there was another building like almost like only feet away. And when I opened the window, there was this older couple who were sitting at the window that was literally adjacent to this one, and like they were staring at me because I was poking my head out, and they were like, "What are you doing, strange girl? We've never seen you here before." So that was a bit. Fun fact, most people don't have dryers in their apartments, like clothes dryers. So they usually just hang their clothes outside to dry, which I really, really love, because I once heard that the sun is a better disinfectant than like a clothes dryer. So I used to love hanging my clothes outside when I lived in Tokyo. It's currently summer in Japan, and while a lot of apartments, I think most apartments, do come equipped with heating and cooling devices and air conditioning, my host left me this fan. Air conditioning and heating can be really, really expensive here in the city, so most people opt to use like paper fans like this to keep themselves cool. I'm really grateful. Although I never use these, but they do come in handy, like if you're walking around the city and you just want something to have, you know, to cool you off while you're hanging out, touring the city. It's great to have. So that is it for the first edition of a tour around an apartment in Japan. Comment down below and let me know if you have any questions about apartments in Japan in general, like living in Japan, like coming to stay in an Airbnb. I'm happy to answer any of those questions. It can be quite daunting to kind of overcome that language barrier if you're staying in an Airbnb by yourself or as a couple, and maybe you don't know how to work something. Maybe there's a lot of things that are confusing. Maybe you're having trouble exploring the neighborhood. So yeah, comment down below and let me know what questions you have, or if you've lived in Japan or visited Japan before and stayed in an Airbnb, let me know what tips you have, because this is, I think this is the first time I've stayed in an Airbnb in Japan, now that I think about it. Whoa, that's crazy. I am staying in this Airbnb for the first week while I'm here, and then on September 1st I am moving to a different Airbnb where I will be staying for the entire month of September, and I will give you a tour of that apartment as well. If you like this video, click the thumbs up button, and if you want to see even more travel videos like this one, subscribe by clicking right here, and I will see you guys again very soon. Bye! Bye bye. What even is this? I think it's a daikon.